Hey, what's up everybody? It's Drew from Drew's Reviews, and today we're going to be taking a look at the modifications I've done to my Pelican Castaway 100 kayak. Now hopefully you can hear me okay. We've got a chorus of cicadas behind us. We've got some landscaping, we've got airplanes, a little bit of everything, but cicadas are probably the most prominent. But here we are, the Pelican Castaway 100. This is with my minor modifications that I'm going to walk you through from front to back. See if we can get on the other side to get better light. Here we go, from the forward end. The only thing I've done up here is put these pad eyes in. I use rivets to do these pad eyes. I use this. Messing around with this kayak was my first time using a rivet gun, and I found it to be pretty simple. And I'm not a craftsman, so please excuse the sloppiness of all of the excess silicone and everything, but I just went a little bit overboard, no pun intended. Anyway, I took the handles off the front end here. When you're underway, these things just, the handles just clap against the boat the entire time and is annoying. But anyway, these pad eyes are because the padding, or at least the little thing that they have that comes with it, that, you know, hooks on here and over here, it's just, I think it's just bound to break eventually, and it doesn't really, it stresses it too much to put this lunch and tackle bag in it. So I've got my I've got an ice pack in here with some live bait, and I've got another ice pack in here with some lunch. All right, and I've got again my anchor tied up, and that's it for the bow. I did put this Scotty mount here in the center. There was a different one that I ordered, but it wasn't coming in time, but I'm glad that I got this one, because taking this off is a lot easier, and there's no spring inside that can easily break. Starboard side, I got this rail, 4-inch rail, so I can put my camera right there so I can document my catches. And again, just excess silicone. These were well nuts. I use well nuts for these and not rivets, and this is the only place I did use well nuts. Everywhere, I take that back, I use well nuts here as well. All right, and that's it. I've added my little lucky depth / fish finder. It's what, 30 something bucks, 40 bucks on Amazon, and I can put links to all this stuff, and it does give you accurate depth in meters though, so that's just something to be aware of. If you'll notice, I took off the foot rails altogether, so you can get a better look at that. I found that with the foot rails, obviously the stock foot rails that come in it need to be replaced. I ordered the adjustable ones, but I found that my feet are going to come up here anyway, so I didn't need this blocking any portion of you know, where my legs would need to be, and that just gives me that little bit more room for my legs. I'm 6'3", so my, you know, legs appreciate that, and so does my back. So anyway, I've added a couple more pad eyes here. This is to store tackle box. Same thing on this side. I know you've got shadow there, might not be able to see that as well, but there is shadow. Excuse me, there is another bungee cord there to hold my larger tackle box. I've used the rivet guns to secure these handles on both sides, so that makes transporting it a lot easier than just carrying it with, you know, using the little indentations there on both sides. Come around this side now. So I tried using the stock paddle that came with it, and I got soaked the entire time. I ordered this Pelican one. It wasn't $70, $80, $90. I think it was like 50 something dollars, if that, on Amazon, and this serves my needs perfectly. I don't get soaked, and it does have the scale on it. Or, yeah. All right. I've added this seat here, which makes a world of difference, not only on your back, but it also prevents you or saves you from getting wet. And along those lines, I have this sponge that I just use to sop out the water, because I've added these golf practice balls, secured them in there as scupper plugs. And I think that's it for the cockpit. I would normally have a different net, but as it would be, I forgot that. So thankfully, as my friend Denzel would say, must have a plan B, and that was in a bag in the truck. So I'm just using that for demonstration purposes, but going fishing today, that's what I'll need to be using. Okay, so that's it for the chair. It folds up, you know, just to help it in transport. Of course, life jacket. I wouldn't leave the shore without it. Okay, to the aft end now. These are the stock rod holders. I've added more pad eyes, as you see here, because I think this cord is going to break inevitably, and I don't want to be stuck when that happens, so I'm going to start using bungee cords to crisscross here to help secure that. I've got my tackle bag, I've got a hand bilge pump, and of course dry bag and disinfectant wipes. Took the handle off the aft end for the same reason. It just bangs up against the boat and is very annoying. And that is it, folks. We're gonna get underway, and I'm gonna try my best to show you what it's like underway, so you can see. Oh, you know what? I forgot a couple things. Let me take care of those right now, and I'll be right back. Okay, so a little reset. You'll notice now that and we've also lost the sun behind the cloud. But you'll see that I have attached a few things on the starboard side. This is so that I don't lose my oar. I felt so much better with this, you know, after I put it on, than I did the first time going out without it. You know, I was just so nervous that I would lose my paddle. And of course, yeah, that wouldn't be good where you have a river or a creek with current. So anyway, I've added my fish grippers here and my scale that pretty much stay underneath the seat. And they're where they are with the goal of practicality, you know. So again, I want to be able to document my catches, and I can show everything to that camera right there, and then just release it as necessary. I do have this attached in the back in case I do want to harvest some fish. All right, and that is it this time. Again, I'm not a craftsman, so you know, the sloppiness of the work was really not my, you know, I'm not concerned about that. It is watertight, or at least it was the last time I went out, and I haven't done anything else with it since then. So I'm expecting it to be fine when we get underway, which we're going to head to a different location and do hopefully right now. Okay, so here we are, we're underway. This is what it looks like, what I look like up close inside the kayak. See my stuff in the back, my stuff in the front. If you can see the stuff in the front, I'm sure you can see it with one of these cameras. So And in terms of practicality, if I'm fishing, I catch a fish, I can net the fish, net him or her, or I can use the grips. Again, everything's attached, so I don't have to worry about it. And I forgot to put my tackle up here. And the scale also. Alright, so what I'm gonna have to do now is get my tackle set up so that I can actually go out and go fishing. Alright, so there's one called a snag. What are you? Little sunfish. Alright, you got the skunk off, so I'm gonna let you go. Alright, skunk off. So let me give my thoughts and impressions on this boat. I like it. It says it's a 100, which would indicate 10 feet, but it's really 9 feet 6 inches. So it's small enough to fit in a lot of vehicles. It can fit in the Suburban, obviously, but it could also fit in like a Mitsubishi Eclipse Sport, for example. So I like the size of it. It's getting some bites there. It's not the most sturdy. It's only 30 inches wide, so you know, don't expect to be able to stand up in it or anything like that. But you know, for a starter craft, you know, it's pretty cool. You know, again, I don't a little bluegill nibbling. I don't have a lot to compare it to, but I know that a wider, sturdier kayak would be ideal. You know, if you want to stand up and stuff like that. But to start out, $300 with whatever these modifications cost, I think it's well worth it. You know, you can get out here on the water, places like this, places you won't be able to reach on foot, you know, and just be able to get out and enjoy nature, and you know, hopefully catch some fish if that's your thing. Otherwise, you know, just get out and enjoy where you can go in the kayak. Okay, so this is what it looks like when we're done. You can see it's a bit dirty. Whoa, not just a bit, but very dirty. All my stuff just scattered everywhere. It's again, not the most stable in the world, but it gets it done. It's a calm water kayak. What can you expect? Rivers, creeks, lakes when there's no wind. Okay, this is Drew with Drew's Reviews. Hope this has been informative and helpful. And if you get one, I hope you enjoy it and enjoy the great outdoors.